In this lesson, I am going to show you a selection of female identifying artists who use symbols to convey difficult, personal, and cultural topics in their artwork. As artists, we can share hard stuff that has happened in our own world, and we can share hard stuff that is happening in the world around us and how we are reacting to it. One very famous artist is Mexican artist Frida Kahlo. She is very much known for her beautiful self-portraits. Frida spent most of her life in chronic pain. She was in a trolley accident as a very young adult, and she was not able to have children because of this. She often painted in bed and was trapped by her body that did not work for her. Her paintings show her body often in braces and will often have fetuses and umbilical cords that symbolize the sadness of her not having children. Her tragedy became beautiful works of art. Another artist that shares a personal hardship is contemporary artist Danielle Crissa. Danielle lost her grandmother that she was very, very close to. In her work, she uses the color pink often to symbolize and commemorate her grandmother's influence in her life and her work. This is a great example of color becoming a visual symbol. As artists, we often use our work to share our personal stories, but we are also reacting and engaging in the world that is very complicated and often unjust around us. Canadian artist Sandeep Johal makes work about gender injustice, specifically in the Southeast Asian community. Her work shares stories of women that have been murdered just because they were women, and they were not willing to follow the gender rules that were set out for them. She tells their stories to honor them, and in her work we see symbols from her Southeast Asian folk art culture. For example, she depicts the snake in her work. And for her, the snake symbolized shedding of one's skin, transforming into something new. She hopes this transformation can happen in her own culture. Sandeep is a great example of making art about a global issue, but also it becomes personal because she grew up in a Southeast Asian family and culture and herself felt these injustices. Another artist that is very famous who has created her own visual language is American artist Kara Elizabeth Walker. She is known for creating room-sized tableaus of black paper cutout silhouettes that explore gender, race, sexuality, and violence. Her medium itself is rooted in the issues she is speaking about. She uses the historical significance of the cutout paper as a symbol that engulfs the viewer in the issues that she is speaking about. This is such a good example of the very material you use become a symbol in your work and help bring your meaning to life. For this lesson, I want you to write a list of hard stuff that you care about. This could be personally difficult things or could be on a more global level. You can write this in your sketchbook or use the PDF provided. I want you to write down anything that comes to mind. Don't filter. You don't need to be making art about all of these things on your list. This is just a brainstorm, a place to start. Spend some time making this list. You want to really think about what you truly care about and what are the tough things that have happened in your life or that you see going on in the world. You can, of course, keep adding to this list over time, but this is where we want to get started. This is where our visual vocabulary really begins. In the next lesson, we will brainstorm symbols that go with these hard and difficult topics. See you there.